Well, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Avatar Face to Face, a program that has been put together to really highlight the multicultural and multi-ethnic parts of our culture and displaying the art and culture within those cultures, going forward as we celebrate through a collaboration with the AFRI organization the 50th anniversary of independence for the countries of Jamaica and Trinidad. This is part of our 22-part series. Today we have two beautiful young ladies here who are going to grace our stage, and as you can see, we're very well laid out. We'll speak really about the cultural designs, the designs of interior decorating. So we are pleased at this time to introduce you Miss Angela Cornish and to Miss Balbina, right? Balbina Lambert, who is with the Cornish and Lambert Interior Designs Company. Welcome. Good afternoon. How are you?
Thank you.
Fine. Thanks for having us here.
Oh, thank you for making all the effort to get here. We're going to start our conversation off in a very casual way, in the sense that we are going to have us a conversation talking about what you do, where you're from, and stuff of that nature, to give people, our listening audience, an opportunity to meet the people behind the creations of what it is that we're speaking about. So if you want to speak then, Balbina, let's, if you don't mind, speak a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and give us an idea who you are.
Yes, my name is Balbina Lambert. I'm from Honduras, and Angelena, Cornish, and me, we're working together for a little bit more than 10 years. So we do all the kind of window treatment, upholstery job, all the decoration things.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. So tell me a little bit then, Angelena. Tell me a little bit about your background and where you're from.
My name is Angelena Cornish, and I'm from a small town called Port Royal in Kingston, Jamaica. Balbina, like she explained, we have been doing decorating for the past 10 years, and we have a team that we work with to make us all shine. You know, we enjoy what we do. We're very positive about our work, and we create beautiful pieces together.
Okay. So now you guys have been working together 10 years. How did you meet?
I met Balbina's daughter through a friend of mine, and I was introduced to Balbina, and we're two single mothers, so we decided to come together and make magic in the decorating world.
Okay. Before you really got into that, Balbina, what were you doing? How did you get into your part of the business?
When I came to this country, I went to school to make fashion. Yeah, I started to do the clothes before I went to school, and I was working in a company doing wedding gown, and after that I decided to do the interior design and make a drapery. And I get somebody to teach me. I said, it's more difficult to tie somebody and make some nice dress. It's more easy to make a drapery. But since that time I do the drapery, I love really what I do. That's what I do for living, but I love my job.
All right. So you kind of backed into that a little bit, starting with clothing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I started first.
Okay. Well, how did you get involved?
I started out as a personal shopper and as a personal stylist to a lot of famous people. And someone said to me, I mean, you have such an eye for fashion. Why don't you get involved in interior designs, because you're so good at what you do? And I did some courses, and I started to work for someone who taught me the trade and my craft. Roberta Cordova, I started with at first, and I just loved it. When you go to bed and you sleep it, you feel it, you breathe it, right. You know you're in the right place. I still do my personal shopping, and I also, still style a lot of stars, but interior design is part of who I am.
That's a wonderful thing. So you're both kind of self-taught in a sense, and then had the support of various structured kinds of training.
Yes.
And that's an interesting thing. Now, coming from Honduras in that respect, what were the kind of opportunities available in Honduras to do what it is that you do now?
I think it's many opportunity right now. It's a lot of opportunity right now. But when I came to this country, actually, I learned to do that over here, not in Honduras.
I
So
see.
after that, my kids come over here. So all my family practically live over here, including my mother. So we, I think, I don't know if one day gonna move come back to Honduras, but I love this country and all my family is here.
I got you. Okay.
Yes,
So
definitely.
you brought that whole kind of trade and that kind of
Yeah,
cultural vibe to this country,
exactly.
which is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you the same kind of question. In Jamaica, what were the kind of opportunities for you to do what you were doing there?
Well, I left Jamaica when I was actually 8 years old.
Okay.
And I go back ever so often. I'm always in Jamaica. And Jamaica is just fabulous. It's just wonderful. There's a lot of opportunities in Jamaica. There are fabulous people there doing fabulous work. So the opportunities are also there.
Okay. One of the things we've been able to identify in the course of putting this series together is looking at the cultural differences sometimes, the integration of what a person brings from their country to this particular country, and what are some of the challenges that you had to kind of overcome. You want either one of you want to speak to that?
Oh, definitely. There are challenges here, especially if you're an African American woman. Sometimes you have to work twice as hard to get from point A to point B. But I think perseverance and focus, you can be and do whatever you want to do and be.
Right.
And one thing about America, it's a big melting pot. If you stay focused and you're persistent about what you want about your craft, I know that you can make it.
Okay. You want to add anything to that, or?
Yeah, and that's the same thing. I think it's opportunity, but we have to work like more than anybody to, to get what we need to get. We working before for Eaton I just think there was a big door to open for us, but unfortunately, this store they closed, and there was not part for the corporation. So it was a little bit difficult in that time, but I think we have a talent.
Yeah, right. That's right. And it's interesting because this is part of how we came together in the We as Afro-We culture, and
Exactly.
headed by Miss Antoinette Pitcairn. And I came together because our missions were very similar. They were both kind of multicultural. They dealt specifically with the arts and the culture.
Exactly.
And our feeling is that in order to understand the culture, one must understand also the rites, the rituals, and traditions of that culture, because it is that combination of components that really speak to what the culture is, and in terms of what a person puts into their work, into their passion, in order to get an end result. So oftentimes we find ourselves trying to go into different boxes, and I am this and you are that, when at the end of the day we're all really one, and it doesn't really matter where we come from. But the beauty of it is that we all bring something very, very contributory to the table, and so it's important. But we wanted to kind of go into a little bit more of what it is that we do in terms of this celebration. It's 50th anniversary of independence for these two specific countries, because 50 years is a milestone. And we wanted to begin to highlight it as we go into all of the other kinds of countries that make up the Caribbean basin. So we're looking at this 50 years, and we want to kind of do it through the celebration of world art and culture, and do it through the eyes of Carnival, so that we will be able to touch all of the different pieces, all of the prisms in that particular pie, so that today we can talk about what you guys do, and the kinds of interior design, what you bring to the table, who are some of your clients, and really kind of take it from that into where do you see yourselves to be in another 10 years. You started 10 years ago. Where are you going to be in your anniversary at 20?
I see ourselves as two strong, powerful women.
All right. All right.
Women who are full of joy and zest and just bubbly, full of life.
Okay.
And we have that Caribbean flavor. So
Okay.
that alone will spice it up.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. Tell me about Caribbean flavor. What's Caribbean flavor?
It's the love. It's the love that's inside of you.
Yes.
It's the passion. You're driven. It's all of that all bundled up like a big ball, and you're just ready to explode.
All right. Okay. So now, 10 years from now, you guys will have what, your own factory, or you'll have your own kind of business.
We're working towards that.
Yes.
Okay.
And
We're
hopefully in
working
10 years we'll be happily with someone. After all of this hard work, we'll find
Exactly.
Mr. Right and be happily married
Okay.
and walking through the raindrops in Paris. That's what I want anyway.
That's not a bad dream. I like that dream. What's your dream?
Exactly. In 10 years, I think we're trying to have a maybe big business. That's what
Right.
we expect. And it's still together. Enjoy the life, traveling, and
Right.
get the big customers.
Okay,
And,
I
yeah.
got you. Now, let me ask this. In terms of the business part of what you do, what do you see as some of the obstacles? And I mean, you talked a little bit about the need to overcome because of racial barriers and stuff. But what are some of the other challenges in terms of building a business?
Well, the economy is not great, as you know now. And there are stores, like for instance, there's stores like Home Goods that, the prices are great. And because of the way, you have different price ranges with anything that you do. But as the economy now is not at a good place. So
Okay.
that's a big obstacle.
All right.
And then you have other stores that comes in and do stuff. It might not be of the same flavor or the same, it's different. And people are going to spend their money to get the best for whatever they can,
Right.
even if the
Okay.
quality is not the same.
So you guys do corporate work as well as individual homes?
We do.
Yes.
That kind of thing? Okay.
Yes.
How do you bid for that? How do you get into that game?
You know what? Most of our clients are word of mouth.
Okay.
You
Alright.
do well, people talk about it. You don't do well, they will talk about it.
Right, right. So it's best to be on the positive side
Yeah.
of
Oh,
being
yeah.
talked about now.
One
You should always,
customer.
your integrity should be your number one focus.
Okay, okay. In terms of design, where does that come from? If you go into a room, and I'm sure every space you see, there's an image in your mind that you say, well, this could be
How
good
really?
for this or particularly that, or a particular kind of a design or layout. Where does that design concept come in? I mean,
I think it comes from within you. First of all, you have to have the talent. It's talent, and plus, whatever your client would like, and you have to be passionate about your job, passionate about what you're going to create, and you make magic.
make
I
the
think
magic.
it's just something that's in you. It's like a musician. When they play with love. And when you design, you should design with love.
Okay, okay. That's really kind of how we got our name as Avatar. There's a blessing that goes with all of
Amen.
that, and everyone is given a particular blessing, if you will. So no matter what the discipline is that you intend to pursue, there's a blessing that that God put that in you, and
Totally believe
it's
that.
up to you to kind of develop that
Let it
particular
manifest.
piece. That it manifests within you, and then you share it with the world. So it's extremely important. Which again we're looking at. Again, I keep speaking about this collaboration, because it's just like you had a particular skill and you had a different skill maybe, and you guys came together and then realized that there was a sharing of the skills, and out of that sharing then came a capability to produce something that you're generating a very serious reputation behind.
And it's also the respect for each other that we have to each other. Because
Absolutely.
our motto is, we decorate the world one room at a time.
That's interesting. That's very
We
interesting.
both decorate the world one room at a time.
Okay. So you do, is there a website that you have that people can see your work and get references from?
Yes.
What is that? Share the website with us.
Balbina.
Yeah, Balbina's draperies.com.
Okay. Say it again so folks will understand what you mean.
balbinasdrapery.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a phone number. It's
Yes.
212-380-6382.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to repeat that as we go a little further
Okay.
into the
All right.
show kind of thing, because I think it's important for people to not only meet you, understand
Exactly.
your backgrounds and where you're coming from, but to actually look at the kinds of products that you produce. So at the end of our show, we'll get a chance to show some of the scenes in your portfolio that you brought, so people can really kind of see some of the class work that it is that you do. Within now the business of doing business, do you provide opportunities to train other people? For how do you pass this along to other people to gain the knowledge that you've gained? I mean, someone taught you, and is that part of your philosophy going forward?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. And it's, we're always trying to help, especially young people, give them a skill, let them be able to do something besides what they might be doing.
Right. Okay. That's going to be important to pass it on, because some people may not even feel that they could do what it is that you do.
Yeah.
And when they're able to communicate with people, to understand there is that possibility, excuse me, there is that possibility that they too can take their basic skills and sit with two creative geniuses and all of a sudden come up with their own type of product.
Yeah.
That's extremely important. Well, I want to be able to talk further with you as we share with you what it is that you're really a part of. This is a year-long celebration that Afui Culture and the Avatar Foundation have collaborated on to produce a program entitled Carib Gold. And Carib Gold is that reference I made to looking at the arts and the culture, world arts and culture, through the eyes at this time, through Caribbean art and culture. And we're looking at it through the method of carnival. So when you begin to visualize carnival, and you begin to look at carnival worldwide in terms of what that means, it's one really an event produced by the people. It is about that whole kind of creativity and self-expression of what the cultural gifts have been that you come from. So we can't seem to go wrong with that, because it gives us a lot of room to play and interview on a lot of different perspectives. But I think it's just important to realize, going into Carib Gold, there is a serious kind of a year-long calendar that we're prepared. And it begins with a dance presentation. It will go into an honoring certain people as we go forth. There will certainly be a series of art exhibits, both in New York and out of town. And there will be a major kind of celebration at the year end. So we're talking to people from all different facets of the culture, and talking about highlighting those skills and how you display. It's really the display of what it looks like, and it has that kind of cultural influence. So that's going to be very, very important to what we do. We're going to be certainly looking forward to working with you ladies and giving you an assignment like decorating our set to begin with. But
We'll be honored to do it.
but we've been able to do this kind of design, and we thank all of you, both of you, for coming, for going through the changes of getting here, for actually kind of expressing and explaining to people who you are, what it is that you do, and kind of helping us fulfill our mission as we go forward. So I want you to be able to, if you don't mind, repeat the website.
Yes.
And repeat the telephone number, so those who are interested in reaching out can make contact with you.
Yeah. The website is balbinalambert.com.
And the phone number is 212-380-6382.
Okay, that's balbinalambert.com or
.com.
drapers.com.
Yeah, balbinalambert.com.
Okay, very good. Just
Okay.
give the number again, please.
It's Angelena Cornish Interior Designs. Also, we combine both together. Angelena Cornish Interior Designs, 212-380-6382.
Right, excellent. Well, there you go, folks. I mean, you have two dynamite, powerful women here who have collaborated and put their God-given talents together and begin to merge a mission that both have shared in different kinds of ways. And actually, when you look at it from two different countries. So it's a beautiful thing to see it come together. For more information on our show and the guests that we have, we ask you to tune in to the avatarfoundation.org. It's AVITAR foundation.org. And there will be that information in terms of how to reach these young ladies and some of our other guests that we've had. And in our mission, we always speak about the dream. And the dream is in the mind of the believer and in the hands of the doer. And you're not given that dream without being given the power to make it happen. So for now, this is our show. I'm Dillard Boone, your host and the chairman of the Avatar Foundation. We want to be able to thank you for tuning in, and we will have you'll be able to see the fine work that both these two young ladies produce. And tune in for us next week, and we'll continue the saga of Carib Gold.